What is up, Buffalo fanatics? Z-Bot, Rico, Mama Bell, and Zoe Jane live on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel off of my beautiful, perfect daughter's first ever Buffalo Bills W, witnessed only 4 days old. That's all it took to get the first W on the board. Rico, so good to see you, so good to have you. And ladies and gentlemen pouring in, I'd love to introduce you to the newest member of Bills Mafia, my beautiful daughter, Zoe. And you all know my beautiful daughter, or excuse me, my beautiful wife, Caroline, who did the most amazing job and has been doing the most amazing job giving birth and raising, even though it's only been a couple of days, our daughter, Zoe. I'm at a loss for words. The Bills win. I have a healthy, beautiful daughter. Perfect wife. This is about as good as it gets. Welcome in. We're going to talk ball, but I wanted to introduce you to Zoe. Caroline, anything you want to say? Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Zoe says go Bills.
Love you, Rico. Love
Caroline
you
goes Bills. Loves the Bills. Says go Bills. Sorry, I'm a little speechless.
Listen,
lost for words.
It's okay to be speechless. Let me tell you, I'm grinning from ear to ear when I see this. This genuinely makes me so happy to see this. Bot's happy. The Bills win. Josh Allen 6 touchdown passes. Zoe's healthy. What more could you ask for? Beautiful wife, beautiful family.
The perfect Sunday.
You can't ask for much more. Zoe comes into the earth, and Josh Allen delivers a 6 touchdown performance. The first Bills game she witnesses, a 44-point outing and a W. She brought us the good luck we needed, Rico. But here she is, Zoe Jane, born this past week, a 7-pound, 10-ounce chunk that we could not be more happy to have in our lives right now. So it is so awesome, and it's so awesome to be with everybody here on the Buffalo Fanatics YouTube channel. I got about a half an hour before I got to go do dad duty.
Yes.
So Caroline's going to go do mom duty while we talk a little ball. Zoe's going to go drink another bottle, and you and I, Rico, are going to dive into a 44-32 W for the Buffalo Bills in Week 11. Talk to me, baby.
Well, I'll tell you this. The game, the way it started was okay. Bills get a stop, and then it just started from chaos right from the start. Josh Allen gives the ball back to the Tampa Bay Bucks. You're like, what are we doing? Let's not start this mess. But I gotta ask, this goes to the chat and this goes to Z-Bot because I'm limited with my time with my guy. So I'm gonna say 6 touchdowns today. Did it feel and did it look like Josh had a 6 touchdown day?
This game broke my brain. I don't think I've ever seen a game that was as volatile of a roller coaster as this one. You're walking away from this one wondering what you just witnessed, and you're trying to evaluate what you just saw from Josh Allen. Because if you looked at the box score, you're going to see over 350 total yards and 6 total touchdowns. I mean, listen, that's not a performance that you see every week. That's a once a season type performance. And that's only a performance that can be done from a guy like Josh Allen. But if you watch the game, you see an overthrow to Curtis Samuel. You see an overthrow to Khalil Shakir. You see a chest pass interception to start the football game from your own end zone. You see a 4th and 2 throw into double coverage that gets picked off. You see a 2-point conversion get thrown over the head of a wide open Reggie Gilliam. So you're sitting there, and on any given drive, Rico, what you were about to see was either the greatest version of Josh Allen that possibly exists, or maybe the worst version of Josh Allen that possibly exists. But here's why I loved it. This is the experience that we're used to with Josh Allen. And what I saw today, Rico, was, you know what? You take the good with the bad when the guy is willing to make the play that maybe he hasn't been able, or not, maybe he hasn't been as willing to try and make as they've gone with a more conservative approach to their offense. Today, you watched him throw a chest pass. Today, you watched him throw a ball behind him that wound up being a forward pass. But you also saw an incredible game on the ground, being able to get into the end zone when it mattered most. You saw some deep balls to guys that you wouldn't wouldn't expect Shavers stepping up the way he did in this football game, Rico. You got Josh Allen slinging it all over the field. You got Ty Johnson in the running backs, James Cook. Rico, we have been pounding the table. Get the running backs involved in the receiving game. How about what they did today? Ty Johnson takes one to the house from about a 50-yard, from about midfield, right? You have that beautiful toss to James Cook coming around the left side. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching this game and I keep going to my brother-in-law. I go, dude, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to make of this. On every given drive, you could flip a coin, and no matter where it landed, you were either going to get an A-plus version of Josh Allen or a failing grade version of Josh Allen. But at the end of the day, Rico, if we're talking about delving out a grade here, in totality, 44 points, 350 plus yards, 6 total touchdowns, a W, coming off of one of the worst losses that this team has suffered since Josh Allen has become the quarterback. It was an unbelievable day for the Buffalo Bills offense and for Josh Allen. Despite the mistakes, what you loved to see in this one, Rico, was Josh Allen's ability to say, you know what, F it. We're winning this football game regardless of having 10 less minutes of time of possession, regardless of allowing 200 rush yards, regardless of me throwing 2 picks. We're going to do enough to get it done. That's what 17 of the Bills offense did today.
You absolutely nailed it. And this is the thing. You're going to get this version of Josh. If you want risks to be taken, you know that Josh is going to take those risks. But with those risks come turnovers. And now, does Josh get a little too overzealous by chest passing and doing all those things? Absolutely. But I think this was a good thing too. I wasn't sure what I was like, what I was watching. I wasn't sure if I liked it. Do I want this version of Josh or do I not? Do I want the safe, take what's given Josh that led him to an MVP? Or do I want, sometimes you got to go for the gusto Josh. And that was go for the gusto Josh today. And that's what you're going to get with the Josh Allen experience. You're going to get the good, some really, really good, and you're going to get some, what the heck was that? That is what you're going to get with Josh Allen. But here's why I liked it even more. Josh's eyes were able to look over the mountains. And that's the best way I can put it. He was looking at the valley. He's looking at the valleys all day. He's looking at the valleys. Now he was able to look over the mountains. Now the fact that he's got a sight of what it looks like and what it feels like to get the ball out of his hands and going deep, maybe we'll start to see a mixture of safe Josh and a mixture of, okay, I can see over the mountains Josh. And I think I like that version of it. And he was using his legs and he was getting all over the place, buying himself time. Great job today in getting this team sparked up and ready to go. Do I want to see that craziness that makes you go, where my blood pressure pills? No, I don't. But that's what you're going to get with that Josh Allen experience. You get the good with the bad. The good thing about this is you get way more good than bad. And Josh understands it. And you saw it today. Maybe this was the spark that these Bills needed. I don't want to get too excited now because we do have a very tough opponent this coming Thursday. But I liked what I saw out of Josh using everybody. And I'll tell you this, we did it. And there's no way I cannot let you have a comment on this. We did it without our second round draft pick and Keon Coleman. Your thoughts on Keon being inactive and not on the field to be with his team while they won 44-32?
Wow. Just an incredible development. It's one thing to not play for performance reasons, right? We saw that clip of Keon kind of jogging on a route. Maybe, we just didn't like what we saw effort-wise or whatever. The fact that we are in year 2 here with a guy that has yet to prove himself at all in terms of being worthy of the draft pick in which they used on him, to just skip a meeting on Friday. And this is a reoccurring theme here where he has just not been he has not been a passing grade teammate since they've drafted him. This has now become a theme with Keon Coleman where they are unable to trust him really in his availability or him being around or him being reliable. It's one thing if you are a 7-year vet and you miss a Friday practice, right? And you are just Hall of Fame bound. You don't love it no matter when it happens. And you don't want it to happen with anybody. I don't care what kind of player you are. I don't care if you're the last guy off the bench or you're the starting quarterback for this team. You don't want to see it no matter where you are on the pecking order. But the fact that you pair the season he's had and the questions surrounding him, which have been relentless and nonstop, really never more than ever this past week, and to add on top of that, missing a meeting on Friday, and this hasn't been the first time that this has happened. I give all the credit in the world to Sean McDermott for putting his foot down here. Other guys may not do this. right? Where you look at the receiving core and you're thinking, I don't know if we can afford to not have this guy out there. I understand that he hasn't been great for us, but with what we currently have going up against this team that can put up points in bunches like we saw this afternoon, can we afford to not have that guy out there? And they put their foot down. And this is what you have to do. And now it makes you wonder, right? You go out there this afternoon and you put up 44 points. You have Tyrell Shavers with 90 yards. You get the passing game going prolifically with the running backs. I mean, Rico, you look at Ty Johnson and James Cook combined here for nearly 130 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Gabe Davis had a couple of big catches. You're looking at this and you're wondering, this is maybe the best offensive performance we've had all year in terms of the passing game. They couldn't run the football in this game, Rico. They could not run. The Buffalo Bills scored 44 points in a game where they could not run the football. I don't think going into this one, I wouldn't have thought that was possible because they hadn't proven the ability to be able to do that. So you're looking at the ability to do that. And I think it's blatantly obvious that, Keon Coleman has not really added much to this team. The questions surrounding him have been abundant. Then you go out and do what you do today. And then you also factor in that the reason for the healthy scratch was because he wasn't available at a mandatory meeting. I don't understand how you could possibly miss a meeting like that if you're him. It boggles my mind. Not only are you in the position that you're in, a position that, how many people on earth would love the privilege to be a high second-round draft pick and be what was supposed to be the star receiver for one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You are being paved a path that very few people ever have the opportunity to walk down, to not only be not capitalizing on it, as we can blatantly tell. Not only are you not doing that, but to do what you're doing here off the field when this team is predicated on culture and doing the right thing and being the guy in the building, last out, first in, boggles my mind, Rico. And this could, I'll just say this to end it, could not look worse on him this afternoon doing what they did offensively without him. Could not look worse. Just when you thought it couldn't look worse, to get healthy scratched halfway through your second year when you were the first pick for that team just 2 drafts ago, and they go out and they put up 44 points and Josh Allen has 6 touchdowns without you. Not good. Wouldn't be feeling good today if I'm 0.
I can't disagree. I agree with everything you just said. I agree wholeheartedly. It's a bad look. But it's a worse look for Brandon Beane because not only did you have to put down your receiver and put him on the inactive list, you whiffed on going to grab a prolific receiver, and all it took was you to just say yes to a 2026 rather than the 2027 first-round pick, and you squander that away. And now your first pick from a couple years ago is now sitting on the bench, and you're watching a retread and Gabe Davis get some love. You're watching all this ball movement happening all over the field, and your number 1 pick that year is on the sideline. It's a bad look. Now, as for Keon Coleman, I really hope, and I'm gonna take the grace side of this, right? I hope this is the learning lesson, not a learning lesson, but the learning lesson that you are a professional. Your job is to show up to the field, show up to meetings, show up to the practice, show up on Sundays, and perform. That's your job. You're not a student anymore, and you're not a student athlete, and you're not having to go and do this and go do that. Your job is to literally show up at the same time as your compadres and film watch and do what you're supposed to do. And you have one of the best quarterbacks in the game tossing you the rock, and you can't make something happen. And then you have to get sat down for now to watch his offense move the way it does. I hope it motivates this boy that he becomes the receiver that we need to be. But something tells me we ain't done. We ain't done. I think there's going to be more that's going to be coming out, and it's going to look ugly. And then it's by next year, we're going to see what takes place. But right now, I like where we're at. Were there things that I need to see more from my quarterback and this offense? Yes. But Coleman aside, the receivers looked okay. They looked okay. I think I want to see more of Shavers. Give him more opportunity. Why not?
And
right
this is
there
the
in front
thing,
of you.
Rico. Like, that's a guy, every opportunity allotted to him in the preseason, he took advantage to the point where he made the team. And he hasn't been getting many opportunities this season. With Keon,
No,
a
he's not.
healthy scratch, he goes in
Right.
today, has a massive touchdown. He leads the team in receiving yards. And I just want to go back to real quick what you said about Keon there. It'd be one thing if this was the first time and he was having a bad year and he misses a meeting. You send a message, hey, we're not putting up with this. This is reportedly the third disciplinary action having to be taken on Keon Coleman in a year and a half as the wide receiver for this football team. And when you couple that with the inability to produce at a level in which they expected him to produce, and when you are talking about a guy that has been under insane scrutiny for the inability to produce, not only this entire season, but more than ever these past couple of weeks, especially coming off of that Miami game. And when you factor in the inability to get a passing game going, I mean, they had 44 points today, Rico, and this was without him, and more notably, was without Dalton Kincaid, which is the biggest aspect of this passing offense. And Khalil Shakir really didn't do anything today. That screen game that they dial up nonstop, finally a team decided to blow it up. I mean, I couldn't believe it took this long, Rico. I thought that Steve Spagnuolo was going to have something for it because of the amount that they've been running it, and it actually killed Kansas City, which shocked the hell out of me. This game, you finally saw Todd Bowles and the defense step up and be able to stop that, right? So they really did all of this with guys that you were not seeing be real, parts of the offense. And we're talking about Josh Palmer being back off of injury. Gabe Davis, of course, with his first start back with the Buffalo Bills here. You got guys that are stepping up that were not necessarily supposed to be the guys that were going to be the pivotal points of this passing offense. Tyrell Shavers, of course, leading the way. So you're looking at this offense today, Rico. And even though they had their pitfalls and the inability to run was something that, of course, is concerning, but this is also a really good run defense for Tampa Bay. It's their strongest suit on defense. This is where it becomes even more impressive to me, because even though Allen had those drives today where you're sitting there scratching your head saying, what the hell did I just watch? They just did what they did with a pretty random cast of characters that you would not have anticipated being the cast of characters just a handful of weeks ago. Now you have to wonder what the deal is moving forward, right? Because when you're going into week 11, Rico, and you already have a passing game that's struggling, and you have to elevate a guy that you released, a guy that you drafted and brought back, you have to elevate him and then bring in McCole Hardman off the street to be able to replace your second round draft picks production because of disciplinary issues. This to me feels like something they're not going to want to put up with much longer. I don't know how long the leash is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a lot longer than we think. Or Rico, maybe it's getting to the point where it's non-existent. This is going to be something we have to monitor. But I have to think, doing what they just did, Rico. I mean, what are you doing on Thursday on a short week, going against the number one passing defense in the NFL and the Houston Texans? Tons of questions, but big shout out to this passing offense for overcoming not having Coleman, not having Kincaid, and getting it done this afternoon.
Well, since we're giving shout outs, we got to give a shout out to Joe Brady. You got to give a shout out to Joe Brady because his game plan today was a solid game plan. Although they could not get the run game going early, but they never gave up on it. However, what I loved from what Joe Brady did was, he's like, clearly I'm getting poo-pooed on because this passing offense is not what it should be, especially with the quarterback that I have. Coach McDermott, I hear you loud and clear. When you have a guy like Josh Allen, there should be no reason that we cannot move the football in the air. He heard it loud and clear, and you saw the dividends of it today. 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 touchdowns on the ground. They made Josh the focal point of this offense, but it didn't feel like he was he had to put on his cape. It didn't feel that way today. It just felt like it was naturally done, and they did what they needed to do. Now, that's the great part about what Josh Allen did today. There were some not great parts for what Josh Allen did today. And this is what you call the Josh Allen experience. It's an experience I do not like. I hate that experience. I hate having to go up and down. I want my quarterback to be consistent, but this is the NFL. Teams are going to defend you. Teams are going to do what they need to do to stop you. But the bozo turnovers, the missed easy layup throws, you got to take those, Josh. Like, this is why this offense is not where it should be, peak offense, because you have these moments where you just forget or you take a lapse in judgment, or I don't know what it is, but you've got to get on, because this is where we need to take our leap. This is where we need to take our run right now, because this win was huge, because now we're listen, a couple more wins under our belt. We can push for not only the AFC, but maybe I don't know where they have us now in terms of how we can get to that number one seed. But if we go on a run and we do what we need to do and take down the Patriots, we might be right there in the mix. But we just got to keep getting these dubs, stack one by one as we go. But Josh Allen's play has got to be a little bit more consistent, because
that's the key.
We saw Josh miss these throws. Like when you mentioned the Curtis Samuel throw, my gosh, that's a layup. That's a layup. You have Josh Palmer just on the sideline, going towards the sideline. You throw it away. That extra split second, you can hit him. This is what you do naturally. So he's fighting with himself, it just feels. But I hope that the part that we want to see is what's going to start showing up a lot more consistently going forward. But Josh, 6 touchdowns. How do you like poo-poo on a guy that puts 6 touchdowns on? You can't. But if you're a realist, you know that he made some moments where you're like, you got to be better. You can't have that Josh Allen. But today, 6 touchdowns, 44 points on the board. Why not? I'll take that all day.
One of the hardest times I've ever had evaluating a player's performance in my life, because you look at what he did and it was off the charts, but then you can really name like 7 to 10 moments in this game that were just awful when you're talking about like an elementary level play being set up that wasn't executed upon. Just extremely odd. I mean, if you look at this game, there were plenty of moments in here where you could not say that Josh Allen was even playing well. Then there were other drives and other moments where you're like, oh my God, where the hell did that just come from? Yes. Right. So you just said it. Consistency is the key here. It's the consistency that needs to be on par and it needs to be on point. Now they got away with it today. And the ability to score quickly was something. I mean, Rico, they put up 44 points with 24 minutes of time of possession. They haven't been able to do this. I mean, what they've been doing is they've been scoring on like 7-minute drives. I go back to the Miami game just a week ago. What killed them is when they went all the way down the field and then fumbled the football, or was it a fumble or an interception in the third quarter? I think it might have been an interception, where they went all the way down the field and killed like more than half the quarter and then turned the ball over.
Yes.
They've been really methodically moving the football, which is great, but it depends on the type of game you're in. In the game that they were in today, you're going up against a team that scores in bunches, that can throw the ball over the football field, and ran the hell out of the football in a way that was embarrassing. You just let an undrafted third-string running back do whatever he wanted against you again today. And this run defense, of course, once again, consistently has been a major, major problem for this football team, and it was no exception today. That team was without one of the best running backs in the NFL, one of the best young running backs in the NFL in Bucky Irving. And you're down to, you have Rachaad White, who's been well, but it wasn't even him who went off. You're talking about an undrafted third-string running back here in Sean Tucker that just went nuclear against you. And it's once a week now, no matter if you're playing Derrick Henry or if you're playing Sean Tucker, who's, the third guy off the bench for this team, you're going to be good for a 40 to 50 yard gash touchdown against this defense. It's just inevitable. And not only that, Baker Mayfield looked like the next coming of Lamar Jackson in this football game. Baker Mayfield doesn't even run the football. It was the first touchdown he had on the ground in 17 outings, and he was running it all over the place today. So it's just you win the football game today, but there was certainly on display several of the issues that have been killing this football team up until this point. But this is where I got to give Josh Allen credit. Even though it was incredibly sloppy, and even though it wasn't consistent, and even though there's a severe argument here that, more often than not in this football game, you were left scratching your head more than you were pumping your fist, or at least on an equal level. I mean, it really was. If this was a roller coaster ride, Rico, I mean, you were hitting every corkscrew and every loop-de-loop, right? But here's where I'll give him credit. In the games prior to this, where he was having his off moments, they weren't putting up points. The game against Atlanta, they can't score. The game against Miami, they can't score. The game against New England, they can't score. In this football game, he said, "To hell with it. I've made mistakes, but I'm keeping my head down and plowing forward." And that's how you get to 6 touchdowns. So where I'll give him credit, and we've talked about this, they have been risk adverse to the point where this team struggles to put points on the board and move the ball in certain games. In this game, there were plenty of risks taken. And you saw that when you do take risks, when you hit the blackjack table, you're going to lose some hands. The key is, are you leaving the casino up? Are you leaving the casino with money in your wallet, or are you leaving the casino broke? And today, Josh Allen took several bets, and he lost several of them, but he won far more than he lost. And they walked out of there with a wad of cash in their pocket. That's what they have to do. They have to have the ability to outweigh the mistakes. And I think we saw today a version of Josh Allen that was much more similar to the Josh Allen of a couple of years ago, where you would be strapped in waiting for a pick or two, Rico, but you'd also be strapped in waiting for, whoa, did you just see that? Allen in the end zone again, Allen in the end zone again. That's what we got today. And maybe, Rico, just maybe, this is what this football team needs right now. Because there's been several games this season where they have just looked like the most boring offense in football. And today, regardless of the interceptions, they look the opposite. That's factoring in no Kincaid, no Coleman, the least production you've gotten out of Shakir in a long time, and the inability to run the football. They still were able to do all that.
Listen, I love this team. I think we all love this team. And there are some things about this team that just drive us like to love it even more. But then there's things where you're like, man, that is going to hold us back. And you said it earlier, allowing the third string running back to run for over 100 yards, allowing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to run for 200 plus yards on us. You can't, like, this is a game where if Josh gives you 6 touchdowns, there's no reason that we're sweating right into the fourth quarter. There should be no reason. This boy put up 6 touchdowns. Fam, we've got to be able to handle this. But allowing these guys to stay in the game and run the football and convert on first downs and have these long gashing plays is going to do us in. We've got to tighten up, but there's no one here to come help us. That's it. There ain't no trade deadline. We're not going into the offseason. Like, we're in the middle of this freaking season. So everyone's got to tighten up at this point. And that's got to be the way that if we're trying to get this division and get some home games in, that's going to be that's the only way we're going to have to do it. But if we can't stop the run and we're going to rely on this offense solely to get us through it, fine. But like, fam, that's going to be problematic. Don't expect to win a Super Bowl. Maybe get to the playoffs, fine. But if you want to win a Super Bowl, you better be able to stop the freaking run, because that is going to be a problem. Now, speaking of the run, James Cook. Did you find that surprising today that we could not get James Cook going? What are your thoughts on James Cook not being able to go?
Well, yes and no, right? And by the way, just real quick to put a bow on the Bucs run game and what they did in this one.
Yep.
I cannot believe Todd Bowles punted that football on 4th and 2 with 7 minutes left, down by 5 at their own 40-yard line.
It makes sense to me.
If that was Sean McDermott, I would have put a hole through the wall. How do you do that? They were averaging over 6 yards a carry. It's 4th and 2. You punt it away, and guess what, Rico? They got the ball back with, a minute and a half left in garbage time, down by 12. I got a buddy who's a massive Bucs fan, and I said, dude, you might not get the ball back. You can't stop this offense. You've been rattling off 6 yards a carry. It's 4th and 2, and you punt it. That's where they lost the football game. They could have easily have gotten that, and it could have been a whole different football game. Now, on the offensive side of things for Buffalo not being able to run the football, I thought, for the most part, defensively, Todd Bowles did a good job taking away the things that the Bills have been using as their bread and butter. And that is wide receiver screens to Khalil Shakir. They took that away completely. And then they just bailed out on the run. Like they went all in on stopping the run. Luckily, Josh Allen had his fastball in his bag today. Not the entire game, that's for sure. I mean, there was a couple of knuckleballs. Don't get me wrong here. I mean, there was several knuckleballs, right? Sugar high Josh Allen was certainly back in this one. But I thought that the game plan really surrounded on taking away what the Bills have built their offense around as of late, and that is swinging the ball on the outside to Khalil Shakir or whoever and running the football. And credit to Joe Brady, a couple of great plays to get the running backs involved in the pass game in this one. Credit to Josh Allen for throwing the ball down the field. And credit to Josh Allen for making plays with his legs too, which I feel like he's been a bit apprehensive to do this season. Even though that he has the rush attempts, I feel like we don't see it as much as we're used to. And we need to see more of it. I think we need to see more designed runs too. We saw a couple today that worked well. So if I'm a defensive coordinator though, Rico, this shouldn't shock me, the ability to stop the run if I'm going all in on it, because that's what I'd probably do if I'm going up against this Bills team, because up until this point, they have not shown you the ability to win unless they establish a ground game. This is the first game all year that they've won without establishing that ground game. In fact, Rico, is this not the first game they've won where Cook hasn't had 75, 80 plus yards, right? So I got to give credit to the Bucs for taking that away. You just got to give more credit to the Buffalo Bills offense for finding a way to overcome that. I don't think it's a knock on the Bills offensive line. I mean, it wasn't their greatest day this afternoon. We know how great they've been all year. But I think when you are dialed in on taking away the run, Rico, there's only so much you can do. They basically said, can you beat us in the pass game, Buffalo? And the Bills answered the call. They were able to do it. So credit to Buffalo, but also credit to Tampa Bay for doing what they felt they had to do. It's just you got to give more credit to Buffalo for being able to overcome that.
And I'm so glad you brought that up. And this is why I credit Joe Brady for putting a game plan. They're going to try to stop us because they saw what the Dolphins did to us. If they can't run the football, they certainly won't be able to pass the football. And we were stopping them with third string corners covering our guys. So yes, that played a huge part in this. But you got to give credit to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was a 6-3 team.
Sure.
A desperate team, mind you. They just came off a loss to the Patriots. Now you lose to another AFC. I mean, that's treacherous to make them go back-to-back against the Patriots and the Bills in back-to-back weeks. But that was a desperate team.
By the way, just to add to your point, Carolina wins in overtime against Atlanta today, Rico. Now Tampa 6-4, Carolina 6-5. That was a huge loss for Tampa Bay.
And this came at a terrible time for the Tampa Bay Bucs. But guess what? This propelled the Bills. Sometimes you need that win or loss. I mean, we lost to the Denver Broncos in that 2023 year. We're like, man, we shouldn't have lost this game, but here we go. Went on a run. Obviously, we made some changes here and there. There was a change done today. Keon Coleman sitting down. Whether that's going to play a part later on in the season, we'll find out. But that was a good team that we beat today. A team that has a great quarterback, a team that's got a superstar receiver, and we were able to put the clamps on that receiver and I guess that combination of receiver quarterback. So big shout out to the defensive backfield, right? That came in and shut things down. 173 yards passing. And I mean, obviously they ran for 200 yards, so you can't kill them on that. But Emeka Egbuka was not able to go off. 5 receptions for 40 yards. Yeah. And we kept him out of the end zone off of 9 targets. I'll take that. A great job done by Christian Benford alongside Harrison. Even my man Trey White was in there too as well. So good job from them. And I know you're limited on time, so I got to watch my time with you. Cole freaking Bishop. Talk about Cole Bishop coming in and making things happen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are not familiar with what Cole Bishop's done this year thus far, it is fascinating because right now, if you're looking at what he's done so far this year, he's got 3 picks? Let me make sure I got this correctly.
That's 3.
He's got 3 interceptions this year. He's got 2 sacks. He's got 8 passes breaking up this year. And we're in halfway through the season. This guy has flipped the switch and has completely become our best defender on this team. And that's absolutely crazy because at the beginning of the year, we would have been like, Cole Bishop, man, I'm not doing that. I can't see it. He is absolutely living to the parts and to what I needed from him, what we needed from him. Him jumping in front of Taron Johnson and reading and having great instincts to take that football away. And then after that, the Bills putting it on to the Buccaneers to extend our lead.
Next play.
Great job by Cole Bishop, turning it on and becoming the best defender on this Bills team and giving the ball back to Sir Josh Allen and Josh Allen doing the rest. Big shout out to Cole Bishop. Your thoughts on Cole and what he's meaning to this defense? My goodness.
Massive. And this will be the last thing I have for you before I hand you the reins. But Cole Bishop, just phenomenal. All the hype surrounding him. It had felt like this was what we were expecting and we needed to see based on what we had heard, right? You take him in the second round, you see virtually none of them last year because of the injury. You go into this year and you need it, right? You no longer have Poyer, you no longer have Hyde, and you need some stability at this position, not only right now, but in the future. And you're getting that right now with Cole Bishop. 3 interceptions, maybe no more important than the one he had this afternoon. This is where they were really able to break the game open a little bit, right? Tampa Bay, this could have been a whole different football game if just a couple of plays went a couple of different ways. As poorly as I thought the defense played today, Rico, you have that interception from Cole Bishop. How big was the goal line stand after Josh Allen threw the chest pass interception early in the football game? You might not think about it right now because it was so early in the football game, but it wound up being massive in terms of the grand scheme of the outcome. Cole Bishop in particular, though, this has been what you've been hoping for in succession, right? From one of the better back ends of the defense that the Bills had for some time, had to move off, of course, and look to reload. You have something in Cole Bishop, and I think you have something in Maxwell Hairston, and this is starting to look like what you drafted the back end of this defense to look like. But when you do have Cole Bishop coming off of that injury, and you're relying on him to be the guy. It's a lot of pressure, Rico. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectation. And I think up until this point, he has been delivering on that. 3 interceptions in 3 pivotal moments. This game in particular, massive, massive interception to really allow the Buffalo Bills to go ahead and put this football game away when they did. So shout out to him. There are some young pieces on this defense that have you excited about what they could be moving forward just based off what they've been in such a brief period of time here. All right, half hour for me. That's all I have, unfortunately, tonight because I got to go on dad duty, which is not a bad thing, by the way. It's a privilege. And it was a privilege to be on here with all of you guys. Listen, I want to just say I can't thank you enough. I've had so many people reach out to me and give their love and best wishes to both Caroline and I and our new baby Zoe. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, you guys are the best. You know how much you mean to me. But in moments like this, it's really at another level. I got so much love and respect and admiration for all of you. And I really, really do appreciate it. Caroline does too. And we're so excited. And we were so excited that we were able to share with you. I know everybody or a lot of you have been waiting for this to happen. You've been along for the ride, man. It's been 9 months, been a 9-month long ride. And much like today, it's a roller coaster, right? It's a crazy ride. And you're just waiting for the ability to get off of it nice and smooth, nice, smooth landing and get on with it. And that's what happened. It was great. It's phenomenal. And I could not appreciate all you guys more. Rico, and by the way, I hope everybody knows, Rico, there's really been nobody else outside of my immediate family that's been more in my corner during this whole process than my main man, Rico. I love you, brother. You've been looking out for me forever, but in this whole process, the first to reach out to me, the first to ask if I need anything, the first to give support, and the first to show love. So I love you. I love all you guys. Thank you so much. We'll be back this week at some point. I'll keep you apprised. But in the meantime, big dub for the Buffalo Bills. It was a great outing in many ways. It was a tough outing in other ways, but a W is a W, 7-3, and that's that.
We'll take the dubs. We'll take the dubs. Listen, go be with your family. Isn't that crazy? Go be with your family now.
It's crazy, dude. It's me, Caroline, my daughter, and 2 cats. I mean, we're living the American dream over here. So you gotta love it.
You got it, man. Enjoy yourself.
All right, bye, guys. Take care. We'll see you. Go Bills.
All right, our guy Z-Bot out of here. That's my guy. Listen, man. If you guys saw him talking, I'm grinning from ear to ear because like you're proud of your friends. You want to be proud of your friends. They're doing big things. They're growing up doing the adult thing. You know how tough it is. You know how tough it is sometimes to kind of handle those things. It's not easy. It certainly is not easy, but he's doing it. And listen, no greater person to root for him than myself because that's my guy right now. You know what I mean? We talk all the time, so it's great. It's always fantastic to see. Your homie's winning, and right now he's winning, man. No greater richness or wealth than having a healthy family. That's the best thing ever. And then when couple that with a Bills win, you can't go wrong with that. So that being said, let's get to business. All right. And by the way, Z-Bot says he'll be back this week. He ain't come back this week. His wifey, before we started, she was like, you got half an hour and half an hour is all you got. Since when does Z-Bot stick to timing? He tells you he's going to be off for about, I'm just going to do an hour show. He goes into a 3-hour show. He ain't come back. Unless they give him, his shows are going to start being like 30 to 45 minutes on the nose. So we'll see how my man takes in. So what kind of show are we going to have without my Z-Bot, with my guy Z-Bot out of here? I mean, shoot, there's some things we got to talk about, right? And let's talk about Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott right now has been put in a position. And that position, I feel like this banner is way too big. Let me switch my banner up a little bit. I don't like having the big old banner. Let me switch things up. There we go. Right? Sean McDermott has been put in a tough position, has he not? Because now he's got to deal with the backlash of having to answer questions about his second-year receiver in Keon Coleman, when he should be happy about this win and happy about seeing the ball being moved through the air. Josh Allen go for 300 yards, rushing for 3 touchdowns and throwing for 3 touchdowns. He's got to deal with this Keon Coleman situation. I'm going to talk about this once and I'm going to put it to bed until we find out what's going on with Keon. All right. He's a young man. He's dealing with becoming a professional athlete. That comes with playing on the field. That comes with how you present yourself off the field and how you present yourself towards your teammates and your profession. And like a lot of young kids, they're gonna learn the hard way. And sometimes you got to drop the hammer. And that's what Brandon Beane and McDermott most likely had to do. I'm sure the two of them spoke about this. And he says, that's a coach's decision. I'm benching him because he's got to learn. And I think he is going to learn his lesson with this. And this is the last of it. I'm not doing this with you because now I'm going to start not only benching you, I'm going to start taking money out your pocket. If they're not doing it now, they're probably going to do it soon. But everyone deals with the success and fame differently. And I'm not going to try to paint a broad brush and say everyone should be professional and they should do this. We've seen it over time in the NFL, how some deal with it well and some do not, right? And he's probably one that's still adjusting on how to deal or doesn't have the right mentors. That aside, you're a football player. Show up for your team. That doesn't take being an older guy and mature guy. That takes a respect. That's a respecting. Respect your teammates, respect your coach, respect yourself. Right? You're in the NFL. There's so many people that want to be in your position. You're not taking full advantage of it. I like the guy. I still feel he's a talent on this team. Most folks can be like, oh, Rico, he's a bum. Why are you still messing with the guy? He's a bum. He's a talent still. We still have to figure out how we're supposed to use him because I'm not going to sit here and make him waste himself on the sideline. Find a way to use that 6'4" frame of him, an athlete, and figure it out. That's what they're going to do. If you can get Gabe Davis on the field that looks slow as molasses today, you can find ways to get that brother on the field. He just has to give max effort. That being said, bro, McDermott's not playing with you. He's not playing with you no more. He's not playing with you no more. So figure it out. Become the professional that you need to be for your teammates, and let's rock. I'm done with this Keon Coleman conversation. It had to be said. Bro, you got one job. You got one job. Show up. Show up. You got to show up an hour early. Do it. Show up. It's just what it is. All right, let's get to this offense. Loved what I saw from this offense today. I saw Josh trying to deliberately and really try to put something together where give his receivers an opportunity, right? And he was looking upfield. This is what you want to see. The challenge with that is when he was looking upfield, it's like he negated the easy check down that was staring right at him that can get him big time yardage, right? The easy check down over here, the easy throw to Khalil wide open, right? The easy ones. He's making these things difficult. I get it. We're trying to, propel and spark this offense and spark this passing offense. I totally get that part. But you got to do it with efficiency. You got to do it with less recklessness. And that's my problem. I think he was a little too reckless today with the football. Being in your own end zone and you doing a chest pass under duress when your quarterback is absolutely, your receiver is covered, and you decide to throw that anyway. These are the things that Josh has got to get rid of. We moved on from that Josh. That Josh, we don't want that guy come back. But this experience should not allow Josh to go back to way back when he was reckless. I understand you want to take some shots. I get that part. Third and 16, take a shot. You're in the middle of the field. Okay, I get that part. But when you're in your own spot, your own end zone, and you shot putting it and getting the ball taken over it and giving it back to Baker Mayfield, luckily your defense was still fresh enough that they made that defensive stop. But we can't have that Josh Allen come back. We definitely can't. However, it is good to see Josh Allen have some life, right? The last few weeks, bro, we've been seeing Josh Allen just, we lost, or you know what I'm saying? It was good to see some life in that brother, man. Scoring a touchdown and getting in there and just doing. Those are the things that we want to see from our quarterback. We want to see some life. You want to see some juice into this offense. Now, Kincaid being gone, Keon Coleman sitting out. This was an opportunity for me to see Josh Palmer really come out there and really be the guy that they go to. That was not the case. This was the Shavers game. Big shout out to Tyrell Shavers. 4 receptions today, 90 yards and a tutty. You know that Tyrell Shavers is a receiver. And by receiver, I mean the boy, he catches the football with such ease and it's so natural. The way he caught that football in the end zone, it wasn't catching with the body. It wasn't trying to, corral it. This boy laid down and put the diamonds up to take that thing in and corral it. That's when you know that's pure hands from my guy Shavers. Shavers, I would love to see Joe Brady, Coach McDermott, find him more opportunity to get him the football. Good things will happen. No, he doesn't run a 4-3. Understood. But get him the football. He will not let you down. He will catch it. Don't you guys remember the touchdown, I think was last year, the one-hander in the end zone? He's got the hands. He's got the confidence. Give him the opportunity. He made the 53 roster. I get it. He's a special teams guy, but give him opportunity. What? Does it hurt? No. Actually, it's helpful. You saw it today. 4 receptions, 90 yards. Could this be something that we continue to look at and continue to see what's happening with that? So big shout out to Shavers. I want to see more of that, Joe Brady. Joe Brady, give his opportunity. Josh, look his way. Let's go to Khalil Shakir. We got to do something. We got to do something about that. Khalil Shakir today ended the game with 1 reception, -3 yards. That was it. And this is not on This is not, on Khalil Shakir. This is on Josh, and this is on Brady. Now, I'm giving Brady his love because he was able to kind of open things up a little bit on the offense, allow Josh to go downfield, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm watching Khalil Shakir catch 1 for -3 on a screenplay that is just driving me nuts that we call that as often as we do. The Tampa Bay Bucs must have been in film room watching the film and laying back and just saying, are they serious? They run this screen like 7 times. Run that back a little bit. Is that another screen? Just from a different play, a different formation? Bro, they sniffed that thing out right off the bat. -3. Bro, Khalil Shakir is much better than what you guys are using him as. Like, stop. Brady is using Khalil Shakir like he used Curtis Samuel. Stop it. Stop it. Let this guy run actual routes. Let this guy do things. I mean, just a few years ago, I was seeing Khalil Shakir catching footballs downfield. What's he only catching the footballs 15 yards and down? Like, come on, man. You want to talk about wasting a player? You're wasting the talents and you're wasting his ability to do things with the football. And he's only getting older. You think he's going to continue to keep that 4.3, 4.4 speed? Bro, use that brother now. You paid him. Use him. You can't just relegate him to just a screen catcher. Bro, it's getting infuriating, man. You got an athlete like that brother right here and you're using it for screens and screens only. Yes, he's got individual talents. Yes, he's got the ability to be elusive. But get him elusive in open space. That's where he does his damage. Not behind the line of scrimmage when you got to deal with the garbage. And what the garbage is, you got flowing defensive linemen, you got flowing linebackers, and you got a safety that's coming down. Fam, put him in positions to win. And I just don't feel like Joe Brady's putting him in position to win. I need Joe Brady to be better in that department when it comes to the utilization of Khalil Shakir. Let me keep rolling. Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer returns after 5 weeks off. He is more than ready to go. And I saw multiple times where Palmer was open. I'm not saying wide open, but he beat his man and he was open. And Josh either didn't make a great read or went elsewhere, which was more difficult than when he could have took the easy pitch and catch with Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer can be a big help to this offense. Call it, I don't know what you want to call it. Is it the chemistry between the two? I don't know. But something's got to give. You're not utilizing Khalil Shakir correctly. Shavers finally got his opportunity to look good today. Imagine what Palmer can do for you. But we're sitting here underutilizing our players. And Josh, on top of that, is being Josh when he misses his deep ball accuracy is not great. It's never been great. And it was proof today. But we've got to find ways, and Joe Brady's got to find ways, and Josh as well, to get the guys involved and get them going. Because that today, when you got Shavers going, I know maybe today's was Shavers' turn, but we got to get guys like Palmer the ball. You got to. It's a no-brainer. It's no question. You got to do it. All right. Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel at this point is just Curtis Samuel. I was surprised to see Elijah Moore benched before Curtis Samuel. I don't know whether you want to call it I'm tenured. I've been here on this team longer. I should have the pecking order. I'm above you in the pecking order. I don't know what they see in Curtis Samuel that they chose him over Elijah Moore. I think Elijah Moore is the overall better receiver. And I think that he could have done way more damage. Like that catch on the sideline, there is no bouncing off my chest and having to make it acrobatic. That's a snag catch, and let me keep rolling. So this love that they have with Curtis Samuel, or Joe Brady has with Curtis Samuel, I'm over it. I thought that Curtis Samuel was going to do big things for me, but I'm over it. However, this comes back to Josh. You got a wide open Curtis Samuel down the field, and you miss him. Dude, you have a Reggie Gilliam on a 2-point conversion right there, just over top. I don't want to hear the excuses. Oh, but there was a linebacker right there. Are you kidding me? Have you seen Matthew Stafford? Matthew Stafford don't care if there's a linebacker right there. What he'll do, or Lamar Jackson. They're notorious for it. Side whip it or just dump it over top. There was no one next to the guy. Get him the football, Josh. That's your job. $330 million. You got to get the football to him right there. It's easy. Josh must have had 5 to 6 missed throws or missed opportunities for us to really put away the Tampa Bay Bucs. But we missed them. But that fullback to Gilliam shot, that should have had that. The pass to Curtis Samuel down the sideline, he's got him right here. Curtis Samuel has to look this way when the ball really should have been where Curtis Samuel was originally looking. And away we go. Somebody said he was looking the wrong way. No, Josh threw it. Let me put it this way. Whether he was looking the wrong way, right? Josh, you see there's nobody to him on the sideline. Throw it out. There was nobody there. Outside the shoulder, over the shoulder, he's got it. Why throwing it inside? Like, to me, that's a missed shot. That's on Josh. It wasn't, Curtis Samuel had to adjust to see where he was going. I'm expecting the ball here. I'm seeing the ball go over here, and there's just too much back and forth. That's something that will be corrected. That will be corrected. What I want to say was I liked it because Josh was looking for that shot. He had that shot. He had the separation. It was there, but we just missed that opportunity. But the good thing is there was a scheme that opened up the receiver to have an opportunity to get that football, and away we go. Here's another one. Mecole Hardman. Now, a tough throw, tough time to try to make that catch, but it hit that brother right in the hands. Mecole, you got to bring that down. You got to bring that down. So the shots were there. That's what we've been asking for. That's what we've been wanting, to just have these opportunities where guys are getting separation. There was no talk of guys not getting separation today. Did you hear any of that? Let me be real. Did you hear any conversations of, bro, these receivers couldn't get open? They couldn't get open. Not the case. The slowest guy on the field was my guy, Gabe Davis. They still got him the football. So to me, I don't think it's been a matter of the receivers aren't getting open. Is the scheme wasn't getting these guys in position to make plays. Josh Allen was not hitting his targets. This never, in my opinion, had never had anything to do with the receivers not getting open. There's no way that 11 games out of 11 games, these DBs were covering these guys so bad and they couldn't get open. Bull-ish. Josh was missing his throws and missing his reads, and the offensive coordinator was calling some BS. Today, they happened to be on the same page, but this time, we just couldn't connect. So I'm hoping to see more connection. I'm hoping to see a lot more cohesiveness between Brady and Josh Allen, because they found something here. Now, every game is going to be different. Obviously, Tampa Bay, they're not as great defensively as people might think, but you're going up against a much better defense this Thursday against the Houston Texans. Now, the Texans had a big matchup today. I think they barely got away with it. Who did Houston play today? The Houston Texans played the Tennessee Titans today, and they barely got out of the game, 16-13. So with an offense that scores the way we do, bro, we got to be able to put it on them. And the fact that we got a spark today with our offense, we should be able to handle business against these Houston Texans. But we're not talking about the Texans. We're talking about the Tampa Bay Bucs and what we did today. And we saw good things. We saw separation. We didn't hear no nonsense about, oh, receivers can't get open. BS. The problem was your quarterback, and the problem was your offensive coordinator. And the fact that they finally came together and started to make things happen, Joe Brady decided to say, let me see if I can get another bag. Because I've been telling him, I've been saying this whole week, his bag is light. He ain't got a deep bag. So I don't know whether he went back to college years. I don't know whether he decided to, ask Aaron Cromer to, yo, you got something in your bag? Because I need some. Something took place today. I liked it, and I want to see more of it. My man said, Rico, stop bitching. Josh just balled out in historic performance, and you're complaining. He said, he told me to shut the F up. Oh, my gosh. All right, here we go. How do I deal with this? What's my man's name? Trem Griff. All right, Trem Griff. Hey, Trem, if you watched the game and you saw the throws that Josh was missing, first of all, if you watched the show earlier, we were praising Josh because he did some great things. Did he have a perfect game? No. Am I going to address the things that he did not do well? Yes. That's why you're there. I'm here. I'm going to keep it at that. Let me move because I could get rude, but I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm not in that energy. That's not my energy. So Josh having 6 touchdowns is fantastic. Josh throwing 2 picks, not great. Did you see the reads that he made? Go play a better defense, and they'll make you pay for those. That's 14 on the board, Trem. So this surface stuff that you want to talk about, well, he scored 6 touchdowns. You're the same type of person and same type of fan that was sitting here going, but we're 6-3. That's the same fan that would do that type of stuff. I don't fall for that. That's why you're there. I'm here. Let me keep it pushing. All right. Let me keep pushing. I don't want to be that way. Anyway, my man said, yo, anytime Rico and Bot speaking facts, y'all want to tell them they complaining. Ain't that something? And by the way, I'm going to open the lines today. So if you want to call in, you want to be brave, you want to call in, you get to call in. Anyway, let me keep rolling. All right. I'm not trying to be that guy. I ain't trying to be that guy. All right, let's move. So we took care of business against the Tampa Bay Bucs. Yes, but it wasn't perfect. Now, I'm only sticking to the offense side of the ball because I'm going to get to the defense side of the ball. Now, are you ever going to be able to run the ball perfect? No. The Bucs understood the assignment. Wouldn't you understand the assignment? Bro, if we stop James Cook from running the football, bro, they've been having a hard time throwing the football. Bro, we're going to get them. We will get them. And they did get us a couple times. The interceptions, they're like, bro, Josh is going to give us one. That's if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm a defensive coach, position coach, I'm telling you, Josh is going to give us one. He's had, 8 turnovers in the last 3 games or something stupid. He is going to give us one. He did. He gave you 2. So that being said, although they couldn't run the football, I understood it. Take away James Cook, and we're going to allow, and this is wild to me, we're going to allow, you know what I'm saying, Josh to beat us with his arm, which is absolutely wild. But that's the premise, right? Stop the run, and if he's going to beat us, they're going to have to throw the football. But we're going to keep things in front of us. We're going to blitz them. We're going to keep things in front of them, and that's exactly what took place. But here's the deal. Adjustments were made. 1, and number 2, Josh Allen's Josh Allen. You can only keep that brother down for so long until he says, yo, F it. I'm going to start running that rock. I'm going to start doing what I do. Scramble here, turn around, give me more time, and find guys down the field. There's only so much you can defend from Josh Allen. That's why Spagnuolo, when the Bills beat the Chiefs, Spags was like, yo, I hate defending you. As much as Josh makes these bonehead mistakes, bro, he is one of the toughest guys to defend. Him, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes. If you go ask anybody around the league who are the toughest defenders, they'll tell you Josh, Lamar, Pat. I don't know anybody else that's out there that's so hard to defend where you're like, what are they going to do? Those 3 dudes are the top notch. They're the creme of the creme up there. So it becomes difficult to stop Josh. You can't stop him for very long. So the fact that they took away the run, kudos to him. You had no choice because you got one of the best running backs in the game right now, and you got one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You got to pick your poison. So the Bucs decided to say, you know what? If I'm going to die by something, I'm going to die by defending the run, and I'll take my chances on the not so polished offense of the Bills right now. And guess what? They did a good job. They stopped the run, but Josh is Josh. Josh is Josh, and Josh is going to do what Josh does. And that's exactly what took place today. Josh today, 19 for 30, 317 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 touchdowns on the ground, and we did it. Now, here's the deal. Although we couldn't run the ball the way we wanted to, James Cook still had 100 yards, all-purpose yards. He had 66 receiving yards, and he had 48 yards rushing. So he still went over 100 yards, and it still puts the Bills in great company because if you're going to stop me running the football, great. You got to stop me catching the football. And that's something that the Bills have not taken advantage of in games. You have a dynamic, prolific running back that when he got drafted out of college, his game was catching the football out of the backfield and running the football. Why haven't we been taking advantage of this? 3 receptions today, 66 yards. Are you kidding me? Take advantage of that. McCaffrey. Do you know that McCaffrey right now has 642 yards receiving? He's the only running back amongst all these other receivers in there. Bro, he's dangerous. You can have James Cook being one of the most dangerous guys on the field, but we don't utilize him. Who's that on? A Trem? That's on your quarterback. You start bitching. Bro, we're leaving too much meat on the bone, my G. So if you want to really watch the game or you just want to watch the box score, I don't know. You choose. You choose. Hey, I'm done with Trem. I have to throw one more shot at my boy Trem. I mean, don't get me out of my skin, brother. Don't do that to me because I'm going to do it to you. Anyway, let me keep it rolling. So that being said, we didn't run the ball as much as we'd like to, but we still got him involved. That's where Joe Brady comes in. I got to give him some love. That's where Joe Brady was like, all right, we got to figure something out, right? Hit this one here. The defense has been doing whatever. We can take full advantage of this. Yo, try to get him on a leak and let's take it over. Oh, shoot, they don't got the linebackers to cover him. Handle business. It just took us a little while to kind of get cracking and get it going. All right. So that being said, offensively, not a bad day offensively. Not a bad day. When I say not a bad day, how dare I say not a bad day? Great day offensively. I mean, putting up 6 touchdowns and taking full advantage of it, going 3 for 4 in the red zone. When you get in the red zone, you got to handle business. And that's exactly what the Bills did. Handle business in the red zone. Last week, 5 for 15 on third downs. 5 for 15 on third downs. I don't know if there are any mathematicians in here, but you go 5 for 15, bro, you're under what, 30%? Somebody tell me if I'm under 5 for 15 under 30%. That's my guess. 32%. Anyway, the Bills today, 6 for 11. Over 50% on getting third downs and moving the chains and moving the sticks. That's the name of the game, man. You got to move the sticks to put points on. Am I right? 32%? Got that. All right. 33%, bro. We have to be in the pluses or over 48 to 50% in converting on. I'm over fractions guy. That's funny. We gotta be better at converting on our third downs, right? And we were much better today. Last week, dude, our average third downs was 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Today, much more manageable. We've got to take what the defense gives us. And we had moments that we did, and we had moments that we just cashed in and we went hard, right? It was there. But the fact that we went over 50% on third downs, that is what gets us in favorable positions to win the game. You can't win a lot of games when you turn the ball over 1 and you're not converting on your third downs 2. Oh, by the way, you can't run the ball. Trifecta. You asking to get beat down. You're asking for a loss. You got to be better that way. By the way, if you guys are in tune and liking what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, and you guys appreciate this, do me a favor, smash that like, but don't smash it for me though. Smash it for the Bills coming in and handling business against Tampa. Smash it for my guy Z-Bot and his beautiful family. He's got a baby now. He's got a wife now. He living life, man. He living that American dream. He loving it, right? Smash that like for all of that. And the Bills getting that dub. Josh Allen getting 6 tutties. Smash that like. Hit that. Subscribe if you haven't. Trem, hit that like, bro. Hit that like. I know you like this. Subscribe while you at it. Let's keep it going. All right. So that being said, talked on the offense. Let's get to the defense. I tweeted earlier today. It was the first half. Jordan Poyer has 15 touchdowns. Excuse me. He's got 14 tackles. 14 total tackles in this game. And we're not even in the second half yet. What that tells you is we were getting run amok. They were stomping a mud hole on us, right? So we needed to step up and do something. 14 tackles the first. And then in the second half, it kind of continued until it slowed down a little bit. He finished the game with 15 tackles. What that tells me is we tightened up a little bit on defense. We minded our gaps. We had gap integrity. We started wrapping up and tackling more, and we slowed my brother down. Now, he did catch a big ball and went down the sideline for a touchdown. I mean, that's an athlete being an athlete, so you got to give him credit for that. But for the most part, not a bad day defensively in the second half, right? We kind of did a better job. I mean, think about it. The second half is when they really went off on us. And then when you look back at what they did in the third and the fourth, 6 points in the third and then 6 points in the fourth. So that's where we kind of slowed them down a little bit. I mean, they put 20 points on us in the first half. So those are the things that you kind of want to corral. And then the second half, 6 points. I mean, 12 points. Obviously, one of them being a touchdown, and two touchdowns in the second half is what we ended up doing. They missed a 2-point conversion. Two missed points conversion. So 2 touchdowns in the second half. We kept them 6 points, 12 points. I'll take that. Slowed them down enough for this defense to, you know what I mean, secure the win. But am I happy about this defense overall? No. We allowed 32 points. We allowed 202 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. We gave up 39 rushing yards to Baker Mayfield, 51 to Rachaad White, and another 106 to Sean Tucker. No, I'm not happy about that. This defense, although they made the stops when it really mattered with this bend but don't break, but there's got to be something to be said about allowing over 150 yards a game. That's nasty work. That's absolutely nasty work. So although I praise this defense for, locking away and taking away Emeka Egbuka, Sterling Shepard had 4 for 54, but nobody had more than 60 yards receiving. So the defensive backfield did their job. It's what we couldn't do stopping the run. 200 yards rushing, my Lord, right? We got to be better. We got to be better. Most times when you allow teams to rush for 200 yards and we turn the ball over twice, bro, that's not a recipe for success. But the fact that we got number 17 on the squad allowed us to get over the hump and win this one. But the second half was a lot better. I'm not saying we killed it, but we certainly improved. We made the adjustment we needed to make, and we went and secured the win. But Sean Tucker, man, golly, this boy was killing us. That's a big, strong back, and he gave us some fits. But we've got to be better. And here's the thing. We ain't got anybody to come in and really save us, right? Michael Hoyt was the last. We haven't had a sack since Michael Hoyt, bro. Am I reading this correctly? Did we have any sacks today from Baker Mayfield? We had one by Daquan Jones. Daquan Jones was the only one that got a sack today, and we haven't had a sack since Michael Hoyt. Boy, we gotta be better. We gotta be better. We gotta be better, right? So I need more from certain players. Now, I don't know if I should save this for Tuesday's show. Playing talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, but there are some things that we're going to talk about. And guess what? The defense is definitely going to be one of them to talk about. So, overall, did we enjoy this game? Absolutely. I enjoyed this game. I enjoyed call it what you want to call it, but I enjoyed the back and forth. The teams were scoring, and I could see that the Bills were doing something, right? Putting points on the board. But we're also susceptible to getting gashed for big plays defensively. So we're going to have no choice but to buckle in. So TJ Sanders returning, he's probably getting his feet under him. Cool, right? DR Walker, we're getting both rookies. They're playing. Dion Walker had a decent game today. He was pushed around a little bit, but for the most part, he had some moments where he came in and looked good. But the whole defensive front linebacking crew, we're all pushed around. We got bullied. We got bullied today, right? But I'm right now speaking on the negatives of this defense, right? The rush, we didn't do well in the rush. We weren't good enough. We didn't do well enough. We got to be better to stop the run. The backfield played well. You got to love that. And we got to limit these plays, man. We got to limit these plays, limit these big plays, because there were too many big plays for my liking on this defense, right? 24-yarder to Sterling Shepard. Sterling Shepard had a couple big time plays. Sean Tucker, that big reception, that was a big one. I hated to see that. Cade Otton, one down the middle. Hated to see that. But, you're going to give those up. You're going to give those up. Now, I do want to talk about a bright spot, and that is Cole freaking Bishop. Cole Bishop, these last 3 to 4 games, has been on one. Today, Cole Bishop alone had 6 total tackles. He had the pass breakup, and obviously he had that interception. Let me give some love to him, man. He seems to have figured it out. He seems to have figured his part. He found his part on this squad. He found out where he belongs and how he can bring his impact to the team. Having Jordan Poyer next to him, I'm sure has helped dividends. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of that, because there will be a time where Poyer is no longer there. Who becomes next to him is going to matter. But by then, I'm hoping that he's gained a lot of experience. He understands the ins and outs of his defense, and he becomes the one quarterbacking and calling plays and telling people where to go and do what they need to do. But I loved seeing what we saw from Cole Bishop. There was a time where we were having a hard time showing that brother some love, man. We're like, man, I don't know if he's the answer, man. That second rounder, man, here go Bean wasting a second rounder. Well, Beans look good right now. Bean looks good with this pick. Bishop has had a great campaign thus far this year, especially the last 3 to 4 games. We need to see more of this. So if more can step up like Cole Bishop, linebacker room, I mean, then we can start to really see this defense do big things. But some guys are getting healthy. I'm looking forward to seeing Shaq Thompson come back. I love seeing Dorian Williams on the field, getting some youth on the field and getting some experience in obviously Shaq Thompson. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, number 5'8", I got some things to say about number 5'8", but I'm gonna wait till Tuesday to jump on that. So Bishop has been playing very well. You got to give him his props to Cole Bishop. And he deserves his love. He deserves his love. Give him his love. He deserves all the love for what he's been doing. And if you watch the play today, that play today from Cole Bishop, lined up in a bunch. The offense was in a bunch formation, and they're all running their levels. And he saw something where he got off his player, jumps in front of Taron Johnson, and takes a pick. Are you kidding me? At first, I thought it was Terrell Bernard. I was like, oh, good shoot. What? Is that him again? Cole Bishop coming in the clutch. Big shout out to Cole Bishop, man. You love to see it. I'm a big fan of that. All right, let's go to the team stats today, because those are things I do pay attention to, and I love to look at, and it plays a factor. So today, the Bills, 19 first downs today. I mean, it's around the average mark of where we normally are. 13 first downs by air, and 4 first downs running the football. All right. We had 2 first downs off of penalties. We'll take those. One of them was a roughing passer, and one of them was a face mask, which I thought was odd because he had him by the ear hole. I'm like, okay, it's not a face mask, right? But the face mask, you're considered face masking if you get on the inside of the helmet and the ear hole of the helmet. It's considered a face mask. So that was the 2 penalties that we got, and that turned it into a first down. Tough because Tampa made a stop there. That was a huge stop, and away we go. All right. So the Bills today, 414 total yards of offense. Big time. Love to see that. 7.8 yards a pop. Love to see that as well. See what happens when you have almost 8 yards drive, 8 yards a pop. That allows your second and your third downs to be a lot more manageable, which allows you to go 6 for 11 on third downs, which the Bills did. 6 for 11, third downs, over 50% on conversions, right? Let's keep it rolling. Yards per pass for Josh today, 10 yards a pass for Josh. He's averaging about 8, and he had a much better showing today. So you love to see that. Let's keep it rolling. The rushing today, we had 97 yards rushing. We gave up 200. I know it's a blemish. It is what it is. 7 penalties for 45 yards. I know we're still up there. I mean, in the first half, I think there was only 1 penalty for each team. And then we started to kind of go penalty heavy a little bit. So 7 for 45, but we kept it under 50 yards of penalized yards. 3 turnovers, and we still win the game. Typically, when you turn the ball over 3 times, bro, you ain't winning that thing. But the fact that we've overcome that, awesome job. Where we lost a fumble, and we threw the 2 interceptions. All right, and that fumble was tough, man. That Mecole Hardman fumble, I mean, gave that away. Like, it's tough because, like, windy conditions coming in his first, he hasn't touched the football in forever. So I do give him a little grace, but I mean, shoot, you got to catch that, man. You got to catch that. That's your job. That's your job. And last but not least, obviously 24 minutes of time of possession, and we put up 44 points. That means what that means is we took advantage of our opportunities. 7 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second. We went back and forth. Then we double dipped. We put 10 points on the third, and then another 13 points in the fourth. 44 points for the Bills, 317 yards by Josh Allen. Solid day from the boy, from your guy, our guy, Josh Allen. So let's get into the comments. If there's any comments, questions, concerns, this is the time to do it. I might even throw a link in here. I'll probably take 4 or 5 calls if I can't get to everybody. That's just what it's going to be. So if you about it, and if you want to, and in the comment section, I mean, if you want to get on call, if you want to talk about something that you saw, that you like, something you want to comment on, something that you don't like, this is the time to do it. We're doing it this one time for this live stream tonight. All right, let me get to some super chats because I missed some super chats. So big shout out to BTKV8BJ for becoming a new member. You know what time it is, baby. So appreciate you, big dog. Love that. We got another one. Marsdale, let's go. Big shout out to we're getting some new members today. I love it. Much love to the new members. Appreciate you. Love to see it. My man Dan Bill's been a member for 56 months. My guy. He's going up on a year soon. I love it. Mo watching the rope. Not today, old friend. Mo watching the rope. I like that. Let's keep it rolling. My man, Devine Demigod comes in for a member for 2 months. Appreciate that love, my G. He says Josh Allen, the first player with 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in one game, now has his second such performance. Mistakes were made, yes, but when we needed to play, it ended up working. On to the next one, and that's exactly right. When you needed to play, you went on and made it happen, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, right? We need to play. Somebody step up for Josh. Josh will certainly step up for you. Love to see it. We got my man Matthew. What's up, Matthew? Matthew comes in and says, congrats, Z-Bot. Welcome to the dad club. Dad life. Hashtag, man, dad life is the best, man. Especially when you got a baby girl. Buddy, that changes you. That changes everything. Baby girls change everything. I thought I was going to be a girl dad the whole time. Daughter, 22 years old. I had her when I was 19. 19, a baby having a baby, bro. So I had to grow up real quick, right? That's me letting you know I've come. Listen, I ain't Mr. Perfect. I mean, I've had my blunders, right? But that blunder turned into a blessing. My blunder turned into a beautiful blessing because my baby girl is doing great things now. So dad life, heck yeah. And I got 2 other girls. I got a 13-year-old that's going to be 14, but you think she's going to be 18, I swear. And you got a 12-year-old that's still my baby. So I love that. She's still that innocent, lovely girl. So I know she's having a rough time because she had a soccer game today and she lost 5-0. So that's tough. And when dad can't be there to watch the game when mom goes, it's tough because I can coach her up in it. But anyway, neither there nor here. Matthew, big shout out. Thank you for that super chat. Love it. Another super chat. My man Mark says, yo, shout out to my man Z-Bot for your baby. God bless. Love that. I'm sure he's going to be reading this when he rewatches the show, so this is great. My man Bartek, 60 months, 5 years, my G. I love it. 5 years. Thank you guys for being the best Buffalo Bills channel I stumbled upon. Also, congrats to you and Caroline Z-Bot. Much love. Hold on. My man, he said, I stumbled across you. I love it when people stumble across because you can stumble and get back up and keep rolling. My man stumbled, looked up and was like, yo, what is this? I think I like it here. I think I'm going to stay here, right? I stumbled, but I found my home. I love it. My man Bartek, appreciate you, my G. Bartek comes back and says, yo, first 40 air yard TD for Josh is 2022. Are you freaking kidding me? 40 air yard TD for Josh since 2022. That's asinine. And here's the crazy part. All we've been talking about is Josh needs speed. Josh needs this. Josh needs that. Shavers is not a speedy guy. He's like a 4.5, 4.6 guy. Let me make sure that I have this right. I don't remember him running a 4.3 nor a 4.4. Tyrell Shavers, 40 time. What's your guess? Tyrell Shavers, 40 time. Depending on the highly publicized high school. I'm talking about the Buffalo Bills, Tyrell Shavers. Let's make sure we got the right one. Or am I wrong? Maybe I'm dead wrong, and shame on them. Tyler Shavers has recorded 2 40-yard dashes, 4.38 seconds from the high school days, and then 4.59 seconds at his college pro day. So, which is he? Is he a 4.59, 5.6, 4.56 guy, or is he a 4.38 from high school? So, I mean, I think I'll take the latter, the college pro day. So 4.59, right? He's a 4.5 guy. He's not a speedy guy, right? But he knows how to get open. So hopefully we see a lot more of that. So I don't want to hear about we need speed and nobody's getting open. Bro, it's not about the speed, man. It's about scheming these guys to get open and Josh doing his magic and doing what he needs to do. So big shout out to Josh. Big shout out to Lead Robster, Money Mitch. Money Mitch comes in and says, hey, big $50 super chat, and I appreciate you. You know we do, man. That's always love, my guy. Love Allen and his 6 for 6. I love it. Not to be hard on him, but he's gotta hit the wide open guys. Defense still a concern. Lots of room to improve, but always great to say that over a big W. You're damn right about that. Go Bills. Ohio and Buffalo Fanatics is the best YouTube channel. You know what? And you're right, man. Josh going 6 touchdowns is amazing. 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Awesome. Were there opportunities missed? Yes, there were. And this is why Josh is so great. As shaky as the game, progressed, where it was off and Josh is missing a throw here, and then you end it by like, dude, he scored 6 touchdowns, 300 yards. Bro, that guy had an amazing game, but if you watch the game, there were moments where you're like, oh, come on, Josh, you got to be better than that. But opportunities came. We cashed in on it. We did what we needed to do, and I'll take that win. No matter how you want to slice it, the win is what I wanted. And I felt confident. I felt that we were going to beat these Bucs. I didn't think they were going to give us any issues. I saw the metrics. I was like, no, they can be had. They can be had, and they were. And we took care of business. Adrian, what up, Adrian? Adrian comes in and says, yo, I feel like fans try to protect Josh way too much. I agree. He seems disconnected outside of the Ravens and Chiefs game. Hadn't seen that since last year. There are a lot of times that people try to protect Josh, right? Because how do you not? Like, this is a prime example today. What are you bitching about, Rico? Shut the F up, Rico. He had 6 touchdowns. That's a protection of Josh, right? Josh didn't have an amazing game. If you go and ask Josh how he did, he'd be like, yo, man, I left a lot on out there, but it was great. I felt good. I'm sure that's what he's going to say. I felt good. It felt good to kind of get out there and get the ball in the air and get my guys going, but I got to be better. There's things that I missed. There's things that I should have done better. But if you really, I don't want to take away from it, but screenplay for, 50 plus yards to my man on the sideline, big play. Josh scrambling, finding Shavers on the other side, big play. But that's Josh moving around and doing what he normally does, right? So if I don't want to say take away those things, you can't, because those are individual plays that these guys have made. But like, there's a lot that goes into Josh getting those touchdowns. It doesn't just come easy. You have to work for those, right? Or at least the one where he made move for Shavers to get down the sideline. But neither here nor there. I think we do a lot of protecting of Josh because he's our franchise. He's the best player that's been on the Bills for a long time. How dare we talk ish? Are you a fan of the team or are you a fan of the Josh Allen? You can be fans of both, right? But at one point, Josh is going to leave this team, whether it comes from retirement or however he decides to leave the team. But he ain't on this team forever. So you're still going to be you're still going to be rooting for this team. So you got to root for the team. And you cannot not criticize where criticism is warranted. And there were some moments that Josh needs to be criticized today, but this guy's amazing. This guy's elite. And he erases those things when he does elite things. Both can happen at the same time. All right. Appreciate you for that. Don C. Sugar High Josh Allen back. Mr. Bernard, much better. Mr. Bernard. He was Mr. Bernard today. Much better. Don C., I appreciate you for that. Because we don't call him, we don't call him Mr. Bernard if he's not balling. And Mr. Bernard was balling today. So much better today for him. Return game low-key was huge today. Cam or Hancock need to play over Poyer. We'll get into the Cam and Hancock. I got to watch the film a little bit more, right? But the special teams today, special teams was absolutely low-key fire, man. Yo, I don't know what these boys ate in their Wheaties or what they saw on special teams, but these guys were on point today. Even the punter, Mitch Wisnowski, had 2 punts, and he had one inside the 20. That was a money punt. Matt Prater went 1 for 1, 5 for 5 on extra points, 8 points today. Whoever had him on special teams, go ahead and lock in on that. But the big idea today was 234 yards of kick return yards today. Ray Davis, 4 returns today, 158, 39.5 yards of pop returning. He had a 44 long. I'll take that. McCole Hardman had a 61-yarder. If not for one little triple, man, that boy would have took that thing back to the house big time. And then Curtis Samuel had 1 for 15 on a kick return. We still need to figure out what we're going to do on punt returns, man, because McCole Hardman, I mean, I would have loved to see a lot more from him, especially because we got that 61-yarder out of him on the kick return. I would have loved to see a lot more, but we are where we are, man. So big shout out to special teams. Big. We had a block field goal, that they called the ticky-tack. Dude, what he did, what Alec Anderson did was kind of what we call in basketball, taking the seat from underneath them. So when players want to post you up, they're trying to use their weight and back into you, allow them to back into you. And then the minute they back in that third time, you kind of take the seat away from them, and then they lose control and lose the ball and turnover, typically. So it looked like that's exactly what Alec Anderson did. Buddy charged towards him. He kind of touched him on the back and pushed him down. But it looked like he kind of pulled him. That's what they're saying. And then we came in and blocked it. That should have never been called. That was a good block. Unless somebody has film for me to show me that he really actually did pull him. It looked like he pushed him down rather than pushed him and pulled him, and they called that a hold. That's BS. Big time performance today by the special teams. Love to see it. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let us keep it rolling to my man Edu Lock, excuse me. He says, about time Cook got involved in the passing game. You damn right, man. We needed that, man. We needed that to happen a long time ago. By the way, my man Mark Norswood, welcome to the squad, baby. I love that. Listen, I love every one of you guys showing some love and showing us some love with the channel and joining and becoming part of this channel. We love it. The more we grow this channel, the more love and the more we can hit a lot of communities, man. There's a lot of Bills fans out there that don't have a community just to kind of come and hang out, talk football, and really decompress, if you will. This is therapy. You mean talk it out, talk it through, and guess what? We're gonna be right back at it again on Thursday. And by the way, Thursday is my birthday, so we need a huge win on Thursday. I forgot to tell the wife. The wife was making plans with me, saying, "Hey, man, what do you want to do for your birthday?" I was like, "Nothing, man. I don't want to do nothing for my birthday." Lo and behold, I totally forgot that we had the Thursday night was this Thursday. So she's gonna be like, "So I made some plans." I'm like, "About that plan." We're gonna have to switch it up to Friday and do it then. So anyway, we'll go from there. We'll see how it shakes out, and we'll talk then. But we will see you Thursday night. All right. Before I get out of here, I promised that we could do a call-in show. Why not? And this is not for you to. This is for you to do whatever. I mean, at your own risk. If you want to try to fight with me, I don't want to fight with y'all. This is a win. We want to talk about the winning things, right? So I'm gonna put the pin in the chat. The link is gonna be in the chat. All right. Now, before we get into the call, we got to look at our sleeper pick today. Right? We did a slip today for sleeper. And how did your boy do? Well, let's find out how your boy did. Let me share my screen real quick. And let's see how your boy did. And let's see if I felt like this was going to be a really good opportunity for me to get my first, trifecta and win. But before we do, you guys already know what time it is, man. If you guys have not gone ahead and got your free $20 entry, dude, what are you waiting for? Get your free $20 entry. It's free. That's the language I love. I love free. Free is great. So no need, to complicate life, man. Go ahead and jump there and jump in there, right? Using that sleeper code BF25. And without further ado, let's go see how your boy did. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. So I said, what did I say to y'all? I said Josh Palmer was going to have 24 yards. Oh my gosh. I don't think I got this. 24 yards, 24.5 yards. Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer today. Let me see how my man Josh Palmer did. Josh Palmer today, ladies and gentlemen, did I get No way. Josh Palmer, 17 yards. How? Keon Coleman's out. Dalton Kincaid's out, and he still can't get over 24 yards. Yo, Vegas knows something. Vegas, you guys are on. You know something, man, because it's crazy to me. Man, let's keep it rolling, man. That's crazy. All right. Anytime touchdown, James Cook, hit that. Emeka Egbuka today had 40 yards, bro. Cooked. I would have thought he would have had like at least 80 yards. We kept it under wraps, but no, we did not keep him under wraps, bro. We did keep him under wraps. So 40 yards. The defense did their job. Josh Palmer, 24 yards, couldn't get over. He was under. He had 17 yards. I mean, that's pathetic, man. That's pathetic. If that's the thing, man. Josh had ample opportunity to hit that brother, man. He's not doing it. So, Josh, you got to be better. And I'm talking about both Joshes. Both Joshes got to be better. Golly, man. Anyway, it is what it is. What you gonna do? There's not a whole lot you can do about those situations. So let me get back to our regular schedule program, and let me share. My man said, "Yo, I picked up Palmer and started him over Shakir too." Well, I mean, better than Shakir. Shakir gave you nothing. Golly, man. 1 for 3. For real, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry as ever. Goodness. I thought that was a win. Yo, lock it in. We getting that. Emeka Egbuka over 50 yards, 58 yards, 54 yards, bro. You should have had that. Anytime touchdown by James Cook. Listen, if not for that rush, that passing touchdown, bro, we would have been in trouble. Golly, we were over 3. Woo! Good thing I don't do this professionally. I'll tell you that much. All right. Let me hold on. Let me Real Dan Echo. I didn't realize you sent a super chat, bro. Let me get back into it. My man, Real Dan Echo. Mr. Dan Echo. Let me see what my man Dan Echo is. And by the way, I gotta give a shout out to not only the people that are in this chat, but in my pregame today, my man Sweat joined. I gotta give my man Sweat some love, man. I'm not gonna leave you hanging like that, bro. I gotta give you some love. All right, Dan Echo. Danny. I see you, Danny. Danny says, I watched with my brother-in-law, huge Tampa fan, talking smack. All I heard was Bucs this and Bucs that. Bills win. I say, get the get the buck out of here, bro. You out of here, son. Yo, big shout out to my man Dan Echo. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, let me see if I can give you guys the link. Are you guys ready for the link? Are y'all ready for the link? I'm going to send you guys a link right now. So let me get back to my screen here. And here is the link. You guys can join right now. If you have a comment, you have a statement, you just want to show love. You don't have to put your camera on, by the way. You can turn your camera off if you don't want to show your face. Some people don't like doing that, and I totally get it. I'm with you on that. So you do not have to do that. So if you want to join and talk Bills football, you have your opportunity right now to do so. So if you guys like that sleeper pick, don't forget, sleeper picks is easy. It's easy to do. We're giving you all the good stuff. So don't forget, use that promo code BF25 and you get $100 match on your first deposit. Don't forget that. Terms and conditions always apply. See the sleeper terms for the use of details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out your sleeper app today, folks. So let's get back to it, man. So if nobody wants to show up and talk some shop and talk some Bills football, is no problem. You don't have to. I wanted to give the opportunity to get out there and show some love to you guys, right? This is an opportunity to show some love to you guys. So while I'm out there, Ty Johnson today, somebody mentioned Ty Johnson in the chat. Ty Johnson, 1 for 9 in rushing for Buffalo. But Ty Johnson taking that 61 to a 52 yarder. Yeah, love to see it. And here's the crazy part. I had Ty Johnson on my roster last week because I thought James Cook was probably going to sit and chill and do nothing. And I dropped him. What a time I would have had to go and put him on my roster. By the way, how is your fantasy team doing? Mine is in shambles. Mine's in shambles right now. I'm barely getting away with 1 win right now. I have a 7. Okay, I turned into a 99% chance of winning this game. This is good. This is very, very good. My other league, Terrible. 1% chance to win. I'm going to lose this game. It's 89-84 right now for my opponent. He still has Jalen Hurts to play. He still has George Pickens and Dallas Goedert. I'm cooked. I had Baker Mayfield, Rashad White, Tony Pollard, Egbuka, DJ Moore. DJ Moore, I'm never grabbing DJ Moore ever in my lifetime again. I got Dalton Schultz, Rodriguez. Bro, I was cooked, man. I had Omarion Hampton. He's hurt. Braxton Strange. He's hurt. Too many guys are hurt, not doing what they're supposed to do. Chuba Hubbard lost his job. He was supposed to be a big-time talent. Crosby Merritt was supposed to do good things. He got benched. Bro, my other team is cooked. But my main team is legit. I got a 99% chance to win. Josh Allen today came out in the clutch. 48 points for Josh Allen. Bijan Robinson came in the clutch today. 32 points. Nick Chubb. Killing me, Nick Chubb. You're killing me. Keyshawn Butte. I won the game. I put Keyshawn Butte to start, and he didn't play. And I must have forgot to put this brother back in. I'm annoyed by that. Dawson Knox, I had to put him in because my man Tyler Warren is out. Palmer, I thought Palmer was going to do something big. Nothing. Egbuka, 9 points. And then Texans defense, they're on the ball right now. So they got 10 points. And now I have to decide what I'm going to do. Do I take the Texas defense next week? If I do, I'm cooked. And if I take, I should have took the Browns defense today, 19 points. What? The Browns are winning? Hell no, that's not happening. Are the Browns beating the Baltimore Ravens? Ain't no way. No. That can't be. Let me read. Am I reading that right, chat? Is this correct? The Browns are beating the Baltimore Ravens. They got 19 points. I should have started these boys. Anyways, I won that game regardless, but golly. All right. 2 interceptions, 10 points allowed. What is he? Bro, to the Browns? I know their defense is good. But my lordy, Lord. My Lord. Lamar Jackson, 10 for 19, 132, and he's got 2 picks, no passing touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL. Dylan Gabriel, 7 for 10, 68 yards passing. No picks, no interceptions. Quinshawn Junkins, 13 for 41. How are the freaking Cleveland Browns winning this game? Was it a pick six? It must have been a pick six. Interception for pick six. Devin Bush. Interception for touchdown. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my. 3 field goals for Andre Schmitty, whatever his name is. 10 points plus this dude. And they missed an extra point? How do you miss an extra point? Cleveland, you're gonna give this game away. Man, Cleveland is a piece of work, I'll tell you. All right, let me get into my calls. I do have one caller coming in. My guy, Bartek. Talk to me, boy.
What's good? What's good, Rico? How you doing?
Listen, Rico is fantastic. The Bills win. Josh had 6 touchdowns today. You know what I mean? We're playing Thursday night football. Yo, we doing all right, bro. We're doing all right. How are you, Bartek? Talk to me. The Polish too.
I'm good. I just actually just got out of church. I had to leave the stream for an hour, and I just got back, so just in time, you know.
I respect it. You do what must be done. I love it. How was the word today? Was the word good?
Yeah. It's always good. You know, God is good.
It's always good.
Time, so.
Bartek, talk to me. What's on your mind, man? How'd you love this game?
I'm out here. I live in the suburbs of Philly, it's like a small town out in the west side of Philly, but it's so hard to find a bar that has a Bills game, so I had to go to like one of those one of those like chain rest, kind of like those chain like Applebee's or whatever, like McAllister's or something. Like they have like different these, that have the bars that have show like every single game. So I was good, I watch it like without the commentary, but there was a Bucs fan sitting next to me, even though he didn't have any gear on, but he didn't even say a word to me, which is funny. But I mean, I was good. I was just living through the emotions. I mean, how many lead changes were there this game? I think they said
9.
It was like
9 lead changes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's it's crazy. I don't know if I was gonna rewatch the show. The one thing I mean, I was gonna say is shout out to Ty Johnson. They finally started utilizing him. You know what I mean? I mean, we after what we saw last year, it's kind of was like it was kind of head scratching. It was like why we haven't seen him as much this year. And then it was
Facts.
nice to see like, hey, Cook wasn't like you could see in the beginning. I know I was messaging you on Twitter like, hey, the running game wasn't going it wasn't working too well with Cook, but then when Ty started coming in, he was getting good chunks and good yardage. So that was good to see. And yeah, I mean it's crazy with this team. You just don't know what we're gonna get every
You
week,
you
and it's
don't, man.
going against the Texans. It's gonna be, I think, a great like. Let's be honest, we're gonna face a similar style defense in the playoffs, right? Whether the Broncos
100%.
are really good, you know what I mean. I mean the
100%.
Texans if they get in. So I think it'll be a good test. And yeah, I mean I don't know. I'm excited for the win. I missed the first like series because I was driving to the bars and I heard that like we Josh threw that interception and then we held him to 3, so I missed that.
It was
Um,
huge.
but it was that was huge. I mean the defense. I know everyone always hates on the defense, but and today I know they gave up some big chunks. It is worrying because it's like I don't know what your thought is. I know there's so many hypotheticals in football, in the NFL. You could say, "Oh, this play," like that face mask they gave us that call. Part of me is just like, what would have happened if we didn't get that call, or like
Exactly.
little things
So
like
many of
that.
those things.
Yeah. So, I
And
don't know.
and
I don't know. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Rico.
no, not to cut you off because these very things happen, right? Because the
Yeah.
game was still close at that point when that
Yep.
play happened. So
Exactly.
when earlier in the chat somebody was like, "Man, Rico, be quiet." He started making nonsense up, right? Let's just
Yeah.
say Baker Mayfield gets a break and that doesn't happen. They get the ball back and they score it. Josh's 6 touchdown game is null and void. And then we're
Yep.
back to
Yep.
the grumbling Bills. So this is
Yep.
why I tell like people that watch the games, bro, watch the whole game. Don't just watch you're complaining we won with six touchdowns. Boy, does that
Yeah.
drive me nuts, man. It's okay to criticize your team. Bro, if my daughter has a soccer game and she put 3 goals in the back of the net, but she had multiple mistakes, bro, we're gonna talk about these mistakes. We can celebrate your 3 goals, but we're gonna talk about these mistakes so those mistakes don't happen again. So
Yep.
you can get 4 or 5 goals next time. Anyway, I
And the thing.
get fired up and I gotta
Yeah.
chill.
No, I mean I hear you, and the thing is though, people realize it's like, hey, you're pointing out these mistakes. It's not like we're hating on the team. You know what I mean? It's a matter of, or like, oh, you're never satisfied. It's a matter of, I think it's a matter of like worry because you know what this team is capable of, and you know where
Facts.
we're trying to go. So we're not. It's like that's why the whole being a fan thing. It literally depends on how your team is doing in this grand view of things of like, hey, like our goal, we didn't come into the season thinking like, oh, let's get into the playoffs. We're thinking we're going for the Super Bowl. So it's like, so when you see these mistakes, you know what I mean, and you see these things, you're here thinking like, it's like, yeah, I'm excited we won the game and that's what's great, but it's but like thinking about the long term, that's what's like worrying in my and like Tampa didn't have Bucky Irving. If Sean, what was his name, Sean Tucker, right, if he did that, which I got him on my fantasy,
Oh,
but I
you son of
benched
a
him, like I
gun.
picked
Did
him
you
up
really?
I picked him up right before the game, and then
You a-hole.
but just put him on the bench, like I just picked him up
Oh,
just to have him.
you set him down. You should have started him.
I know, and he would have went off. But it's funny. My fantasy is funny. One I'm doing good, one I'm doing bad, and one I'm doing really good. So,
Buddy, one of them. This is why I cannot do more than listen. I did 3. I bit off more than I could chew. I did 3 3 teams this year. I left Jackson Dart on one when I knew full well that he was, but I was so focused on my other 2 leagues, I forgot about that one. Golly, man, I cannot do more than 3, 2,
yeah.
and that's it.
I have people telling me they're in like 6 or 8. I'm just like, what? How?
Much.
Like, how is that
Way
even? I don't even have like Rick. I don't even have kids, or you know what I mean? Like,
Unreal.
I don't have like any responsibilities besides work, and I'm here like I can't even be in more than 3. So,
love to see it. Yo, by the way, Kansas City and Denver tied at 13. We got a game. We got a game.
The thing I'm obviously rooting for Denver. I moved from Denver. My parents live in Denver now, but so obviously I root for them over the Chiefs. I mean, you root any team over the Chiefs anytime. But the thing is, Denver pisses me off so bad. I was watching it like the first like literally couple drives of when the game started before I went to church, and they were on like same thing. They were like on the end zone, you know what I mean, and they just couldn't even punch it in. And they could have went up like 9. They could have went up 10-0, and then it ended up being 6-6. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
Denver's just frustrating. I just feel like their offense is.
Listen, the whole league this year is frustrating because there's teams that like right now, like the what is it like? Where's the Browns game? The Browns Ravens game right now.
What is it? What is it?
Apparently, Shedeur Sanders is in the game now.
Yep.
So
my buddy
that's
texted me.
interesting.
Yeah,
I'm sure what's his face is absolutely pissed about that. Where was that? Because I know he hates that dude big time. The Browns, Baltimore. Where's that game at? Browns, Baltimore. See, I lost it. I don't even know where it is. What's the score? If anybody knows the score, let me know what the score is because I don't know why it's not showing up.
I just go on. I don't want to switch it now because I'd lose you. But I just go on Google. I'm always like NFL scores.
I'll actually also it's right in front of me. What am I? I'm on the R word. So it's still 16-10, and they're going into the fourth quarter now. So there's still a lot of game left. So we'll see how that all shakes out.
I'm just hoping. I mean, let's be honest. If the Chiefs and Ravens lose, it would be huge for us. I mean, it would be massive. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, we're onto something. We're about to be onto something. So we'll see. Bartek, give me one last. I know you're gonna go watch you're gonna go rewatch the game. So I hope to. I mean, we always message each other on Twitter. So we'll discuss that. So your thoughts on this upcoming game against the Texans? Does that have you worried, or do you feel like this game today is a perfect recipe we needed to go into Texans and take care of business, whether it's against Davis Mills or CJ Stroud?
Is it? Do we know is CJ playing? Like,
we don't know. I don't know. That's why I said Davis Mills or CJ. I'm not sure what's taking place.
What did the Texans do today? Because I didn't even. They were playing.
The Texans barely got out of it with Tennessee. They won 16-13 with Tennessee.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, we should be beating the Texans with in the current state that they're in, just because they're kind of in a similar position where, well, their defense is much better than ours this year, but their offense has had their struggles. But like, we've been inconsistent with our offense. They've just been flat out bad offensively.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So we should be. I'm excited to see, because it's like, that's the thing. What we saw today with the passing. When did we see that last time? I mean, was it against the Ravens in the last couple minutes of the game? Like, when did we, you know what I mean? When did we get to see this kind of, offensive display? And I feel like it's been a while.
Maybe it has been a while.
And so now it's a matter of, okay, are we going to see it again? Because we just saw it, but we said that going into, a couple games this year, and then we got a complete opposite. So.
I have come to the point where this game was this game. And I don't look at it any further than that. This game was this game. I'm going to leave it at that, because I'm not going to say, we're going to do the same thing next week. We could come in and pull a dud. So I'm going to enjoy this moment. Next week is next week, because I'm going to be on the roller coaster.
Rico, your birthday's you said your birthday's on Thursday?
Thursday, November 20th, baby.
Oh, well then, how can we lose on your birthday? You better have one wish.
Listen, we should not. We should not lose on the birthday. So I gotta try to decide.
I gotta show you one thing before I go. All right, look at this.
What's up? Talk to me.
Oh my gosh, she just died. Damn, this is embarrassing. All right, there it is.
Oh, that's dope. What is that?
It's a light. It's like attached to the car on the side of the door. And so
that's dope.
It just displays it. I mean, I'm a bunch of people have. It's not like anything crazy. You could buy it, online. But it's it's my Batman. It's my Batman.
I like that.
Bills
I like
logo.
that. Let everybody know where you at. When you open your door, bang, Bills fan all day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my guy Bartek, always showing love, has been supporting this thing for 5 documented years, but he's been watching for a while. He stumbled across the Buffalo Fanatics, has never left since. Love it. Appreciate you, my G.
Love you guys. I mean, how like Mitch always says, you know, you guys are the best channel. And honestly, I was in Carlsbad, New Mexico when I first started watching you guys, and now I'm in
Jeez,
Media, PA. You know what I mean? I'm all over the place.
you're
So,
all over
but
the place. You're like
but
the what's that movie, The Traveling Pants? You're like the traveling pants, man. You all over the place. You
yeah,
can't sit your butt down somewhere.
yeah. But anyway, love you guys. Love you, Rico. Take
Yes, I love
care.
you too,
But
bro. We'll talk
honestly,
soon. We'll keep in touch.
I think Zoe's been she's 1-0. Hey, what's it
She's want
called?
to know that little rascal.
So
That little rascal better keep up
hopefully she's the
the
good
good
luck
charm
charm
coming.
hopefully she's the good luck charm we needed. So anyway, God bless
By the way,
everybody. And yeah,
before you go,
yep.
somebody mentioned this to you. They said there's a Bills Mafia that has a Discord channel that streams games. So if you ever have problems to streaming games,
Oh,
there it is.
oh damn, yeah, I
So,
gotta get on that for sure. I mean, I have Discord. I'm on your guys' Discord as well.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
I gotta
we'll have to find that out
get
and
on
get you
that.
going. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later. So peace.
See ya.
That's my guy Bartek. Bartek always listen. He's always gonna show love. He's always gonna come on here. So if you guys want to jump on here and have a conversation with your boy, here's your opportunity. If you're good and you just like listen to other people come and call, that's no problem as well. That's not a problem as well. By the way, I got another super chat coming in from my man. Get right, Tyrell Shavers over Keon Coleman. Low, relax. I know people are like, yo, bro, get off this Keon Coleman, man. He's a bum. He's washed. I won't do it. I won't do it. I will not do it. I won't allow that to happen because I think he's still a talent. We just have to find him the right. A, he's still a talent. B, he's got to show some more effort because that sucks. And if you don't show effort, then you're not going to find yourself on the field, my G. You're good enough to be on the field. Put some effort into there. Put some effort in there. All right. But Tyrell over Coleman, ooh, you start some, boy. You starting some. I will say this though. I truly believe Shavers needs more love. Shavers needs more opportunity. And I feel that he's been on this team a long time. It's not like Josh and him don't have chemistry together. You know what I mean? Let's tap into that. Tap into a little more Tyrell Shavers, man. Let's go. All right. Here we got another super chat coming from my man Ryan Bosworth. Bosworth comes in and said, yo, this run defense hasn't gotten better all year. We aren't going anywhere in the playoffs with that run defense. I freaking wholeheartedly agree. You want to stop the run? You gotta go for a run. In order to go for a run, you gotta stop the run. So that's the way I look at it. And my mom's calling me like crazy. So I gotta call her back in just a moment. All right. Well, if nobody's calling in, I appreciate you guys tuning in. It was a great day for the Bills. We came through, we handled business, we defended the dirt, although we allowed too many points to touch the field and touch the scoreboard. Nonetheless, we are where we are, right? The Bills came in, handled business. And we are now 7-3. So the Bills being 7-3 now puts us, right in the mix of the AFC. So if the playoffs were to start, we're looking pretty good right now. So New England at 9-2, the Bills being at 7-3. Who knows? The Pittsburgh Steelers, they won today. They're 6-4. Baltimore's on the verge of freaking losing, so they can go to 4-6. That's not good for the Ravens. They needed that win. Cincinnati Bengals lost today. Cleveland might get another win. My gosh, what's happening? The Colts had a bye, so they're chilling. Jacksonville, huge win against the Chargers. They go to 6-4. Houston winning today, barely. They go to 5-5. We can set them back to get them to 5-6 next week. We go to 8-3. Love to see it. And the Denver Broncos on the verge of beating the Chiefs to drop them to 5-5. My. This is going to be something. So, and the Chargers going 7-4 today. Dude, crazy. This league is something else. So let's just leave it at that, folks. All right. If you guys enjoyed this show, do me a favor, smash that like before you guys get out of here. If you are looking forward to tapping back in on Tuesday, I will be back here Tuesday running a show with my man, Carl Jones. I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say. He was in the booth today, so he'll have his 2 cents to drop in. I'd love to see what he thought about the defensive backfield. How did Maxwell Harrison do? How did Trey White do? How did the whole crew do? I saw a lot from Benford. Benford was looking good. So great job altogether. Great freaking job. So that being said, I want to give a round of applause to the chat today. You guys were amazing. We had 2,300 strong. We got 13, almost 1,500 of you guys on X. We got another 260 right now on YouTube. Much love to you guys. Huge game for the Bills. We needed this win. This was a must win. This was a must win for the Bills, and I applaud every one of you guys for tuning in. This was great. That's it for me. You enjoy the rest of your NFL Sunday. Before I get out of here, here's what's happening with the scores. Here we have it. We got the Seahawks losing to the Rams right now. So that's an interesting one. The 49ers are absolutely handling the Cardinals' business. The Ravens, they tightened the score up to 16-13. We'll see how that ends up. The Chiefs locked in 13-all with the Broncos. The Lions are going to be playing tonight against the Eagles. That should be an interesting one right there. The Commanders, they blow 16-13 Dolphins. The Dolphins might make a run. Did you hear what Gruden said? Gruden said the Dolphins have every reason to stay in this. Think about it. They beat the Bills. They beat the Commanders. They should beat the Saints. They should beat the Jets. And then they go up against the Steelers, which they can beat. They can beat the Steelers. We'll see how that shows out, man. I mean, the way they're running the football. So what are the Dolphins are at a 4-7 now. So they beat the Saints 5-7, Jets 6-7. If they beat the Steelers, they can get to 7-7. We've got ourselves an AFC East battle. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. And then they got the Bengals after that. I mean, shoot, you might see the Dolphins make a run. I'm just saying. It could. You just never know these days. So you guys have yourself a great rest of your afternoon. If you guys enjoyed this show, do me a favor, smash that like. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Rico_BF. If you have not joined our Discord channel, Buffalo Fanatics on Discord, go ahead, show some love, and we'll catch you guys on the flip. Until next time, it's your boy Rico. It's the Rico on Bot / the Rico Report, and we'll catch you guys back on Tuesday.